Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes. My name is Lindsay Milner and I'm the owner of Selfhelp Training. And I work with people to help them to have a better working life and to be happier at work. And while I've been engaged in that work, I have read a great deal of books, many books. Books on personal development, books on thinking, effective management and business development. And I thought it might be interesting to share some of what I've learned from those books with you. And this week's book, it's a really interesting one actually. It is called The Antidote by Oliver Burkeman. And it is subtitled Happiness for People Who Can't Stand Positive Thinking. So that's The Antidote, Oliver Burkeman. And I picked this up at a bargain price in The Works bookseller, one of the sort of cheap booksellers of books that have not been fully sold at their full price. So I think I paid about £3 for it. And the subtitle was the thing that got me. Happiness for people who can't stand positive thinking. And one of the issues I've always had with positive thinking books and self-help books, and it's a criticism that a lot of people often level at self-help books, is that they do just tell you to think positively and positive things will happen. Think positively and you will be happier. Think positively and you will be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Well, obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. So this book does take aim really at sort of bursting the bubble of those who say positive thinking and everything will be fine. Because really, there is a lot more to it than that. And Burkeman takes a sort of tour through a number of things that in a way are contrary to the positive thinking ethos. Now, personally, I think that self-help books have changed, and I try not to call them self-help books, I call them personal development books, because I believe that we should always be working to improve and develop ourselves and to grow. And you'll have heard me talk about the growth mindset and how we can change and learn new things even at my advanced age. So in a way, I think the criticisms of the self-help genre are not fully justified. All of that being said though, this book, The Antidote, is a really interesting read, useful and lots of practical advice. Well, not advice as such, but an interesting examination of some alternative approaches. He takes a look at failure, which again I mentioned, I reviewed Black Box Thinking, which was take a new approach to failure. He also looks at the Stoic philosophy, sort of what would Seneca do, and how you deal with hardships, things that go wrong in your life. He has a look at Buddhism and meditation. How does meditation help? He takes quite extreme action there and goes on a week-long meditation retreat, which does involve, for pretty much the entire week, being in meditation and not talking to other people who are there on the retreat, not even making eye contact with them, which, I'm not sure I'd have the strength to do that, but he does and explains how that affected him. He has a look at the Mexican attitude towards death and thinks that we should take a different approach in the rest of the world and perhaps emulate the Mexican approach to death. What else does he look at? There's Buddhism, meditation, failure. A little bit like the 9 Lies About Work, where he sort of debunks some of the work myths. He has a little pop at the goal culture that we have and how we're obsessed by working towards goals and how that isn't necessarily the best way to go about things. And he has a look as well at what we mean by the self and sort of the I think, therefore I am. So I really enjoyed reading this book. It's several chapters. Let's say, yeah, 8, 9 chapters if you count the epilogue, on different aspects of what it means to think positively or not think positively, different approaches. So it is quite a philosophical book. It is looking at different themes, different sort of strands of philosophy, and concludes that we ought to take more of an approach that is not focused so much on goals and positive thinking, because they're not the route to happiness. The central theme is that the more we pursue happiness and positive thinking, the less we're likely to achieve it. It's about the journey. It's not about just being happy. So yeah, I really recommend this book if you're interested in thinking on any level. If you're interested in how we approach ourselves and our lives, then it really is worth the read. I haven't checked if it's still available on Amazon, but as I say, I picked this up at the Works booksellers in the UK. It's a fairly recent book. When was it actually published? Let me see. Oh, and now I can't find the right page. 2012 it was first published. This edition was published in 2018. So yeah, not that old. That is The Antidote, Happiness for People Who Can't Stand Positive Thinking by Oliver Burkeman. And that's this week's book in 5 minutes. Let me know if you've come across it, or if you've explored any of these different approaches. I'd love to see your comments. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay Milner, and that is A Book in 5 minutes. Bye.